The Met Gala, fashion's biggest night, or a dystopian costume party for the 1%. On the surface, it's all glitz. Celebrities draped in designer couture, a million flashbulbs capturing every angle, champagne towers balancing on diamond trays. But behind those Instagrammable moments, there's a much darker truth. Elitism, exploitation, performative politics, and scandals so surreal they make reality TV look tame. So let's peel back the sequins and look at what the Met Gala really celebrates. It's not just a gala, it's a $75,000 per ticket performance of privilege. And no, you can't just buy your way in. Every guest has to be personally approved by Anna Wintour, fashion's gatekeeper. On the red carpet, glamour, grace, and gold. But backstage, the people making it all happen, stylists, makeup artists, drivers, security, are often working long hours for shockingly low pay. In 2024, Condé Nast staff threatened to strike during the very same night as the gala, exposing just how fragile the House of Vogue really was. The headline that night, Anna wears Prada, workers get nada. Imagine working 12 hours to get Zendaya's look perfect and not being able to afford dinner. Luxury built on underpaid labor. The Met Gala is the fashion industry's Hunger Games. $75,000 a seat and you can't pay your staff. That's not art, that's audacity. It's not just a show of fashion, it's a masterclass in inequality. Let's rewind to 2014. Forget gowns and tuxes, the Met Gala's most viral moment happened in an elevator. Beyonce's sister Solange Knowles was caught on security cam physically attacking Jay-Z at an after party. No context, no warning, just fists, fury, and Beyonce silently watching it unfold. The footage leaked to TMZ and broke the internet overnight. The polished image of America's perfect power couple cracked, and Beyonce herself even referenced it in a track. Of course, sometimes shit go down when there's $1 billion on an elevator. Here is a clip of them leaving the hotel after the elevator attack.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jay, Solange. Jay, what's good, Jay?
Right here, right here.
Back it up, back it up.
I love how Beyonce just enters in the car with Solange with no doubt or guilt. Wonder what that car conversation was between Beyonce and Solange though. Crazy how much chaos they'd just been engaged in and no one had a clue until the video came out. Celebrities are so good at faking happiness. Back in 2014, many fans speculated that Solange knew about the extramarital affair that Jay-Z confirms in his album For 44, saying, "You egged Solange on knowing all along. All you had to say you was wrong. You almost went Eric Benet. Let the baddest girl in the world get away. I don't even know what else to say." And Solange, knowing about the cheating, lashed out at Jay in the elevator. But later on, Jay-Z on an interview said that our fight with Solange was a one-time thing. We had one disagreement ever before and after we're cool. She's like my sister. I fought with my brothers and argued with my brothers my whole life. It just happens who we are. These things go into a different space, but it ain't nothing. Despite Jay-Z answering in a positive tone, still no one knows what exactly is the real reason for this elevator brawl. But what happens behind closed doors at the gala doesn't stay there. Meanwhile, in 2022, Kim Kardashian shows up in Marilyn Monroe's iconic Happy Birthday Mr. President dress, a piece of fashion history valued at $5 million.
Happy birthday to Mr. President.
To wear it, she lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks.
Marilyn Monroe's dress. It's 60 years old. I had this idea to put it on and try it on. I tried it on and it didn't fit me. And so I looked at them and I said, give me like 3 weeks. And I had to lose 16 pounds down today to be able to fit this. But it was such a challenge. It was like a roll.
Right.
I was determined. Yeah, I was determined to fit it.
You put your mind to
I don't think they believe me. I don't think they believe that I was going to do it.
The internet exploded. Some praised the dedication, saying, when Kim says she's gonna do something, she's gonna do it. Dresses are made to be worn. Marilyn wore many icon looks throughout her life. This is an opportunity for her to be remembered. Others also said, it wasn't even on theme. Marilyn was the last person to wear it before she passed away, and I think it should have stayed that way. I still do not understand how people don't understand this was a piece of history. But the dress is so fragile. I hope it will not get ruined. Such a priceless historical piece. I have anxiety that the dress could be damaged. Well, unfortunately, the dress did get damaged after Kim wore it for the gala.
As you see in the photo before, the rhinestones are perfectly in place, the zipper looks good, and then let's look at the dress after. So who stretched it out at the zipper line? Because it doesn't do that by itself.
But many called it out for what it was, a dangerously glamorized starvation stunt. A fellow actress and part of the Met Gala guest list, Lily Reinhart, comments about Kim Kardashian's crash diet. So wrong, so f***ed on hundreds of levels. To openly admit to starving yourself for the sake of the Met Gala, when you know very well that millions of young men and women are looking up to you, listening to your every word. The ignorance is otherworldly and disgusting. Please stop supporting these stupid, harmful celebrities whose entire image revolves around their bodies. I am not generally an angry person, but the toxicity of this industry sometimes really gets to me, and I have to do my little Instagram story rants to release my rage. And while Kim flaunted her transformation, thousands of women, especially garment workers in countries like Bangladesh, tied to her fashion brands, hadn't been paid for months during the pandemic.
I think most of the brands just, woke up one fine morning and decided that, COVID would mean 100% uncertainty for their business. So they just turned around and evoked a lot of force majeure clauses in their contracts and said, we can't pay you.
They are not going to be able to pay our dues. These are against goods and services which we have provided them over the last 6 months. They have taken delivery of goods worth about 2 million US, which they are not paying for.
It's a question of millions of workers. So brands must be held responsible for how they behave.
Real women couldn't afford to eat, while one woman was applauded for not eating enough. A body on display. A world out of balance. The first big post-COVID Met Gala came in September 2021, roaring back after a pandemic hiatus. The red carpet was alive again, stars beaming, designers fussing over final touches, photographers shouting for the perfect shot, and not a single mask on a celebrity in sight. For a moment it felt like the world was slipping back into something familiar, maybe even hopeful. But look closely. Just inches behind those bejeweled A-listers stood a very different crowd. Masked staffers, publicists, security guards, waiters, dress handlers. Every one of them required to keep their faces covered. Photos from the event show nearly all the famous guests strolling in maskless, while the people working the gala were all masked up. It was like two different worlds coexisting side by side on that carpet. The elites were breathing freely, flashing smiles, but the workers remained hidden behind fabric and protocol, eyes peeking over their masks as they held gowns and trays. In one striking example, a Vogue behind-the-scenes video captured Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gliding through in her white tax-the-rich dress, smiling unmasked, while a team of masked attendants fussed around her to perfect the look.
Like everyone else's. I feel like we've made more progress. The most important part is she looks amazing and the message is clear and strong and powerful and needed.
The optics were so jarring that even mainstream figures called it out. Journalist Glenn Greenwald didn't hold back, slamming the scene as grotesque, like something out of a dystopia. To him, the gala perfectly illustrated a new form of crude cultural segregation, with maskless elites attended to by faceless servants. When it comes to mask mandates, it is now commonplace to see two distinct classes of people, those who remain maskless as they are served, and those they employ as their servants who must have their faces covered at all times, Greenwald wrote, aghast at how normalized this divide had become. Even liberal comedian Bill Maher was stunned by the double standard. During his show, he flashed pictures of maskless celebs with masked helpers and quipped, "There's something about this that's not liberal to me. If we're all vaccinated, do the germs know who the good people are?"
I don't know if this is tribalism, but I was looking at the pictures from the Met Gala, and we're going to get to AOC. She wore Tax the Rich on her dress. But I noticed something that I've seen, having been out at a few parties since the pandemic began, and that is the people going to the party don't wear masks, but the servers wear masks. There's look at this. I mean, there's something about this that's not liberal to me. I mean, these are the liberal swells of the world, and but if we're all vaccinated, and do the germs know who the good people are? It seems a little wrong. What do we think about this, people?
You're not going to get any pushback from me.
In other words, one set of rules for the rich and famous, another for the worker bees. Rich people breathing air like it's imported, poor people holding their breath to keep their jobs. The real costume this year was servant class. It's not even symbolism anymore, it's just what it is. In one video, journalist Robbie Soave argued that the celebrity class was openly flaunting COVID restrictions while the working class still had to obey them, calling for an end to such pandemic hypocrisy.
The real hypocrisy is the fact that AOC and her celebrity pals at the Met Gala get to take the night off whenever they feel like it from following pandemic restrictions. That was the appalling sight. Maskless celebrities hobnobbing while the lesser folks kept following orders. AOC says she's working to keep the Met accessible to the public, but when the public comes to the museum, they have to wear masks. The Met's policies state that everyone over the age of 2 has to wear a mask inside. You have to mask your young child to bring them to this museum. For some reason, though, really famous people, they get an exception.
That's a wrap from Viral Sensations, where the gowns glitter, but the truth cuts deeper. Until the next viral drop, keep watching.